Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Q Lads channel. We're here once again for some more sevens action. At the moment, Canada taking on Scotland. Currently, Scotland, they have got themselves a 14-5 lead. Make that 19-5 lead. They have just scored. This game that we are going to be covering will be starting only a couple minutes' time, and it is going to be involving Australia and Kenya. Two very capable sides, I should say, for this one, and it should be a very exciting matchup indeed. Looking through at the Australian lineup, they have got Henry Hutchinson, Nathan Lawson, Chris Kurandrani, once again going to have the opportunity. Josh Turner, Dietrich Roach, then Corey Toole, and then Ben Dowling. That is the starting line. We have got hi from Xavier. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Hope you are doing well. Hope you are excited for some more sevens action that we have got. We're going to have not just today, but also tomorrow. We will be covering plenty more, and the day after that, just to throw it in. And hello, good evening, Hamish Braza. And also we have got there who doesn't have faith in the Wallabies as well. Any 15s players. And there says Xavier, probably Chris Kurandrani, the best example of a 15s player playing in the seven side. I believe he is actually the only man who has kind of transitioned between the two for this one. Last time they did have Samu Karevi. This time they have got Chris Kurandrani. Will be slotted in there. Then for the lineup of Kenya, I do apologize in advance for some of these pronunciations. Otino, Hamwa, also it will be Onyala, Odiambo, Oyo, Tabu, and then also Omondi as the other man. And also, let's go Aussie, oi, as well, says Aiden. So how much have you got on them this time, Aiden? I feel like it's a good question. Hello, how's it going? Or hello, going with Australia, Hamish. And there says, Kevin, they are the favourites to win this game. I believe Kenya are about $4.40 underdogs for this matchup, but currently only 15 seconds left of this game between Canada and Scotland have been able to secure themselves the win. So that is step one for Scotland in this fixture, or in this competition, I should say. We're in Seville this time, which is the stadium in my background. Last time it was Malaga, but now we are ready to go once again in Spain. It's going to be an exciting competition, and also $1 a salad. Aiden, how much have you bet a salad there? I feel like everyone knows at this point when Aiden says he likes the chances of a side winning, it's because he has got himself a cheeky little dollar or so on them, or sometimes a couple hundred by the sounds of it for that other one, which of course is very risky. But that one in Kenya is on there, says Tamara. And yeah, at the moment, Kenya, that's the thing. They've got the capabilities of being able to cause an upset here. Even though Australia are heavily the favourites, Kenya's side are physical. They are fast. They are great when it comes to that defence as well at times. So they are going to be a very crucial one in this competition. I hope to see them go further than they did in the last competition in Malaga. This one in Seville, they're used to the conditions now, and hopefully it will be a very good one. Team Kenya as well, says James there. And Hamish, welcome back. As I welcome in. And no sleep, Hamish, as well, says Mark. Not tonight. I think I am going to be sleeping at around afternoon time, New Zealand. I was going to be going to sleep kind of after 5:30 a.m., I think it was, with our last game between the Blitzbox and Samoa. But then from there, I believe George is available tomorrow. So it does mean I'll probably be staying up throughout the night to then film with him in the morning and then go to bed in the afternoon and then be up for the sevens tomorrow night. So that's our schedule at the moment. It's an interesting one. But you're the captain of Kenya. Hutchinson, the captain of Australia, as I should mention. And I see everyone asking how much I put on the rugby as well. And this is Aiden, and also my dad's mate once lost 2K. He put 2K on Australia to win the 2003 World Cup. Oh, that is, of course, the one with England, isn't it? That did go the opposite way. So that would have been a brutal hit for us. By the way, how are you doing, Hamish? How's your day been? Did you get up to much? I did a little bit. I did end up going down to the cricket nets for myself, something that I don't normally do too often, but I decided to today. Slightly regret it because I got hit on the toe with a Yorker that absolutely shattered my toe. Although it does seem to be all right now. It just bled for a bit. So we're all good. Fingers crossed it won't swell up too badly and I can get the pads back on and get out there. Once again, and where's my lucky charm? Katie as well, says Aiden there. And also, will you be streaming Six Nations, Hamish? I will indeed. Every single game of the Six Nations we will be live on the channel for. So be sure to stick around for those ones. And that's coming next week as well, which is very exciting. And hopefully it will all be a smooth running competition. And Katie, I don't think she did. I think she is just possibly sleeping as we were in American time for a little while there. But yeah, I believe she's all right at this stage. Fingers crossed as well. But it is going to be the Italian referee in charge of this one. Kenya versus Australia, like I mentioned, should be an exciting contest, a hard-hitting one as well. Australia going to have to make sure that they muscle up with the Kenyans. But how do you muscle up with a Kenyan? I mean, they're just going to absolutely run over the top of you if you do end up getting your body in the wrong place. But it's kicked off by the Australians going from right to left for these two sides' first match. It is going to just sneak the 10 or doesn't. No, it doesn't. And they are going back to the halfway line once again. And also we've got there what tournaments is this as well, says Josh. So this one is going to be the Seville tournament. So we are sitting the second leg of Spain. Then after that, it is going to the World Series or World Rugby Sevens Series as well for the HSBC. Hopefully that answered your question in that regard. But we're at the group stage at the moment, and we have got a little bit more coming up. And then we're into the quarterfinals, which we are going to be covering on the channel as well. And they will be taking place tomorrow. It's a good run forward there by, I believe it was Hamwa penalty there to Kenya, currently sitting 40 metres out, passing it back across field. And that is one thing, you got to shut down Kenya early, because the likes of Oriambo, he is going to be flying himself forward. He does get the opportunity down the wing now for Kenya. Picking forward up to the 22 now. It looks like it is going to be called as a maul. They're just holding him up, and now they want to put it possibly into touch. He's trying to get the knees down. David has a must release. It's going to be in the hands of the Australians. I think it's actually going to be, line out for Australia. They take it quickly. That was a confusing moment for a second there. It seemed like they didn't quite know what way it was going to be going. But now it is going to be straight on the ball. No Kenya, no clear release. Here, what, this is going to be a fast-paced game. I've just realized I'm going to have to end up talking very quickly. And also, we have got there, just let us watch the match rather than your face. It is actually on the World Rugby YouTube channel. So I recommend going over there if you do want to see the match footage, as it is your best option, as all of the games are being streamed live on there as well. It's not how I'm watching it, but that is exactly how you can, if you would prefer not to have to put up with my mug of a face. But that is going to be Chris Kurandrani now, going down the wing, 35 metres out from their own line here, Australia. Doesn't it back across field? I'm looking at Henry Hutchison here inside of the 22. One more out wide. Corey Toole, he has been scoring a lot of points for himself as of late. Kenya trying to join that breakdown. Roach instead going back now to the 22. Going back across field. And at the moment, Kenya are doing very nicely, keeping themselves inside of the attacking 22 if they can get this ball back. But Chris Kurandrani, it's another penalty to Australia. And also, who said South Africa play, or who did South Africa play first? They actually have Samoa as their first game. Does Fiji host sevens? I believe they have the occasional one in Fiji, I want to say. Good run from Roach now. Going to be using the extra pace, but he has been dragged down by the flying Kenyan. Once again, going to be passing it back. Nathan Lawson, a little bit of a loosener from him, straightening now with the run. Dowling nailed in the tackle. It's another advantage here to Kenya. To Australia, I should say. But Kenya currently 4 minutes left in this first half. Chris Kurandrani, it's a drawing pass, gets it out wide to Roach one more time. And also we have got there Hamish Q streaming Bath beating Harlequins as well. I've decided against that one purely because I won't have any voice left. If that is the case, Henry Hutchison, though, he's gone straight through the gap. And that is going to be his first try of the game, and also the first try for the Australians of the Seville Sevens. And also, Hamish, other Sevens games besides this weekend that you're doing? Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you I killed it. Nice. I'll be sleeping soon. It's nearly 10 p.m. here, as well, says Mark. That's in, I'm trying to remember the name. Is it Cambodia that you're in? No. What one was it? Do let me know. Well, people in the chat talking about people dying, so kind of sums up what sort of intellect. So says Jay Hayes. Also, any other Sevens games besides Sevens tonight, or any other games besides Sevens tonight? Nah. I am not going to be doing anything other than the another 4 Sevens games that we have got coming up. And they are going to be the last one. That is going to be now the try to Henry Hutchison. To do it before she killed me as well. There you go. And also we have got the Kenyan sprinter. So hard work and full marathoners experience. Definitely work is running, as I says Michelle. I mean, Kenya, they're very athletic in the way that they play. And that is why they are a challenge for a lot of these sides. That's one of those things. Sometimes Kenya beating you, it's not exactly a bad thing, because they're such a capable side that when they get it right, they can well and truly make you pay. Henry Hutchison now steaming his way forward a little bit more. Now pass that back once again. Turner goes to Dowling. Roach now trying to step nicely, finds a ball on the inside. Dowling spins out of it on the outside. Chris Kurandrani, quick hands. Corey O'Toole, no, instead decides to take it on himself 5 meters out from the line, and he is going to be dragged down once again by Otieno. Corey Toole, the number 3. I see France warming up in the background. They have got their next game. That will be up against Wales. But now Henderson passes it across Henry Hutchison. Not quite what to get his way through. Currently inside of the 22, though, for the Australians. And this is looking like it could be a danger. Maybe another try. It's going to be Ben Dowling. Going for a great tackle there, though, once again by Otieno. Chris Kurandrani passes it back across there. Having to work hard, Australia, to try and break through. I guess no mods are in as well. And there, as I says, J.A. offloaded. No, not quite able to go through. Early Henry Hutchison once again passing it back to Roach. Henry Hutchison gets it, and that's going to be his second try, and the second try to Australia. This is going to be a repetitive cycle at the moment, but it is going to be 1 hour, well, sorry, not 1 hour 40, 1 minute 40 left in this one, and that is going to be the second try of the match for Australia. And Henry Hutchison, he's scoring all the tries at the moment, the captain doing very nicely for himself, but this match, 2 from 2. And 2 for Seville as well. So Kenya at the moment, they are under pressure. This is going to be 14-0 now in this game, but it was well run by Lawson. Nailed in the midsection by, I believe it was Nelson Oyo, was making the tackle there. But Kenya, once again, the pressure, I have to say the Australian attack at the moment has been very persistent in the way that they have been playing. They just keep on offloading, keep on trying to find that gap. I've just realized Henry Hutchison's thighs are bigger than my whole body almost. That man has got tree trunks for thighs, but that has gone over for Roach, and now it makes the score 14-all between these two sides. Oh, sorry, 14-0, I should say. Kenya have not scored a try as of yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if we are not too far away from getting to see a Kenyan try throughout this match. With Henry Hutchison doing decently for himself. Do let me know your final score predictions for this one, ladies and gentlemen. I actually did add up the points as well, I should mention, for the other matchup. And also these 7 players, I suspect, have to be extremely fit, exactly right. And it seems to be the case of normally, or just the knock-on from Kenya first and then the knock-on from the Australians. But pretty much anyone who has transitioned from sevens to union, they're it's just one of those situations. They just keep on going and going and going with the gas tank and others. Some timeouts and all. What the hell are you talking about here, lads? As I'm there, says, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. The moment it is going to be Maurice Longbottom feeding the ball in. That's going to be a rough feed, but came out the side. A little bit of push and shove here from one of the guys. He's getting right in his face as well there for Lawson. I think he wasn't too happy about that one for Alvin Otieno as on scroll up as well. And this is Jay Hayes. Currently, Longbottom here is going to be getting ready to once again feed this ball in for the Australians. And also we have got there how to you be live twice at the same time on YouTube as well. Says Xavier, I think it depends on the software that you have got. If you have got the right software, you can actually go live on multiple channels at the same time, similar to what we can do. Yeah, Maurice Longbottom going up the middle. It's a great run. He's turning the defender inside out, and it's going to be the third try of the match there for the Australians. Maurice Longbottom, he's got plenty of pace. Or how can you be live twice at the same time on YouTube? Yeah, pretty much if you got the certain live streaming software, you can actually stream to multiple channels at the exact same time. For that one, it's going to be nicely passed across. So Maurice Longbottom just breaking through as well. He ends up going with the just 1-2 pretty much of his foot as well with a beautiful sidestep. But Roach actually helped get it set up with the offload there to Maurice Longbottom. But that's going to be another try here for the Australians, sitting 21-0 now. Very nicely done by Maurice Longbottom. Currently now going straight over for that one. And Xavier, let's focus more on the rugby, at least on people hitting the deck, shall we, as well. And there, no one, or no like hell is World Rugby live on 2 streams at once, says Xavier. Pretty much they've probably got different broadcasters, because I know that one of them is in Spanish and one of them is in English. So they've probably got 2 different broadcasters. And also, I guess it's like anything, how, pretty much we have this live stream in New Zealand for South, or kind of Sky Sports, sorry. And then in Australia, they've got it for Stan Sport or something like that. It's pretty much just multiple broadcasters all have the rights to be able to show the certain content. So I assume that is the kind of same thing for the World Sevens, because I'd like to think that they'd have licensing to their own one. But currently there is a Scottish accent, which means I probably can't understand half the words that this man is saying. Great to be back. Okay, no, his Scottish accent isn't actually too strong, so I can't understand what is being said. But Scotland able to get their first win over Canada for this matchup of the Sevens. I think that was the first men's match. This is the second one at the moment, and the tries currently sitting 3-0 in favour of the Australians. 20 carries and also 2 offloads in there as well. And also we have got the Aussie chat from Xavier Brown. So he is going for the Australians. And at the moment, seems like they will be able to get themselves a win. Now, this will be important because their last game that I can remember for their first matchup, they actually ended up drawing with a side that they should have been able to get the win over. And because of that, it almost cost them a spot in the quarterfinals. So we'll have to wait and see whether or not they will be able to pretty much get themselves straight through and oi. And they're throwing Xavier Brown, but now it is going to be Maurice Longbottom who will be receiving this one by the looks of it. Henry Hutchinson is going to be holding him, getting ready to lift just in case the Kenyans decide to go straight to him. But the next game we are covering, it is going to be Wales, and they will be taking on the very confident side in France as well. It will be interesting to see what the French can do from here on out in this tournament. But it is kicked off by Kenya to get the second half underway. Theoretically, if you score 21 points in one half, the other team should be able to score 21 in the second. But at the moment, the Australians, they're looking sharp, going to the short side once again, out to Roach. Is going to have to go back across the field. It looks like they're just waiting for that opportunity to pierce the field. Corey Toole is certainly a player who can do that, and he has done just that as well. It's another brilliant step there. And now the Australian in a foot race with the Kenyans, and he is going to be winning it. Corey Toole puts the ball down, and that is going to be another try for the Australians, now sitting 26-0 with the kick to come straight out in front as well. And also, Hamish, don't ask me a question curious, or don't ask me a question curious. If you think Samoa will break the Blitzbox winning streak, please tell me you haven't put another bet on it. How much were they paying? I assume they would have been paying plenty for them to be able to get the win over the Blitzbox. I mean, Samoa, the thing that Samoa bring to the table was physicality. And that is one thing that even the best sides, if you kind of go straight up and muscle up with them, sometimes that can cause a few unforced handling errors. So, I mean, Samoa, if they had a few more games, if this was the last game of their first competition, I would say they've got more of a chance. This one, it's going to be tough, though, because they're coming back in after not playing for about a year, and now they've got to try and take down the current side who are sitting on about a 28-match winning streak. Morning, bro. How are the Sevens going so far? So good win for Perth. As I said, Shane, it's looking pretty good at the moment for the Sevens. It seems like it's going to be a fast-paced competition once again, similar to what we saw last week. Series tries at the moment. Corey Toole sitting on 16 at the moment, trying to make his way up a little bit further. Kenya taking that one nicely in the hands of Onyala. Once again, firing it back across here for Kenya inside of their 22. They want to get themselves at least one try. And this one built a bit of confidence, and that might be a way to do it. Taken down, though, just inside of the 22. It was Bush Mwale. Looks like Henry Hutchinson trying to hold it up. It's going to be another penalty. Seems to be quite a few penalties happening in the rolling maul at the moment for both sides. Currently, Kenya trying to pierce through the gap. Good low tackle from Josh Turner, though. Otiembo once again goes to the short side. And it is still going to be in the hands of the Kenyans. It is their number 6 now, Jeff Olonge. Or Alawatch, sorry, I did pronounce that terribly. And put 50 cents on it as well. And there's Aziz Aiden. So I assume that they'll be paying surely at least $10 for that one. I know that Jamaica to win their game was like $100 up against the Argentines, which will be an interesting one. See how it does end up going now, breaking through once again here. That's the thing, Kenya, they've got so much power, they've got so much pace, but they just haven't quite been able to get that acceleration straight through a gap. As of yet, tries to find the offload. There's a loose ball. Roach hits it straight back into the hands of Turner, and this will be a counter-attack once again. Corey Toole, too much pace. And that is going to be another try for the Australians. That's going to be their 5th of the match now. And when's New Zealand joining Sevens? We have got there has been a COVID case in Invercargill, as I said, Shane. So I think it's supposed to be the next Sevens circuit, which is going to be taking place, or the next Sevens tournament, which is going to be in about a month's time, I want to say it is. But they should be back for that one, hopefully, as our players should come back. In Kenya, we continue to play politics as we do best, not rugby. As I said, Stephen, unfortunately, Kenya, that's the thing. When they've got momentum, they're flying. The Kenyans, they will literally just keep on going and going and going and score a lot of tries in the process. Who else is actually in this group now? I think about it. I think it is actually Canada and also Scotland. So all Kenya need to do is beat Canada, beat Scotland, and they will be qualifying a little bit ahead, perhaps, although it is going to be 35-0. So the points differential will be looking just a tad rough for the Kenyans at this point in time, but they've still got the potential to be able to go through. They can get 2 good wins. We'll have to wait and see how it does go, although Scotland at the moment will probably be a hard team to beat in this pool. Putting it up nicely. Otiembo not quite able to line it up there. Once again, that was actually not Otiembo. That was Olawatch. Did have that one. I keep on confusing those two. Unfortunately, that's going to be a good run forward now, though. Nicely done by Bush Mwale. And the Kenyans, can they get through? Can they score a try? This is great attacking stuff here from Kenya. It's going to be dragged down just outside of the 22. It's a good bit of physicality there from Dunbar to try and keep it on the side of the Australians. And the next one is Singapore in April as well. Also, we've actually got a couple months. So hopefully we will get to see them take place. And what other teams are missing from the Sevens so far? New Zealand, Samoa have actually made their way back, but the other team that is missing at the moment is Fiji. I believe they are the only other team that are missing from the Sevens circuit that are kind of the mainstays, I guess you'd say. But yeah, it's nothing like the one that we had in Canada, where we did have New Zealand, Fiji, Australia, who else? Samoa, France, and Argentina out or something along those lines. New Zealand and Fiji as well. Sebastian, so yeah, those two are the next two that will hopefully end up coming back in the competition at some stage. Singapore could be a good option. It's relatively close to New Zealand and Fiji. So hopefully that will work in our favor. But 1 minute 30 left. Currently the time is very far behind, isn't it? It says that it's only 8 minutes into this one, but we're actually sitting 13 minutes in to this game. But the next matchup that we are going to be covering, it is going to be Wales versus France, and it will be kicking off pretty much straight after this one. As I believe it kicks off at about 3:16 or somewhere around there. Okay, once again, it seems like scrum time's been a little bit of a hassle for Australia and Kenya throughout this one. They don't seem to quite be cooperating at scrum time, which does make it tricky, of course, when that is one of the mainstays of the Sevens circuit. You have got to try and win your scrums. We don't really see too many turned over in scrum time either. Now, once again, Corey Toole sells the dummy, goes back across the long bottom, long pass out to Yul now, back in his pace, although he is going to be dragged down. Very nice by Olawatch. Once again, Kenya going for the counter ruck. It's very well done, though, by Dunbar. Drop the body weight and make sure that it does stay on the side of the Australians, who are not finished in this game. They want one more. And now it is going to be Visai making his way for beautiful offload there. And now Australia, it's Henry Hutchinson on the outside. If he decides to use him, it looks like he's back in his own pace, though. And then it's going to be Henry Patterson instead. Had to pass it across to Yul. He's going to be making it over. And that was well done by Patterson. He did end up taking it on for himself and then realised haven't quite got the legs in this one, unfortunately. When is New Zealand coming back, Hamish? I believe for Singapore is when they are hoping to, but it all depends on whether or not they can get back into the kind of country as well, because they will have to quarantine for at least 2 weeks or kind of around that stage. And then I think they'll also have to quarantine to get over to Singapore. If I'm not wrong, there are so many rules about kind of quarantines and also isolation and everything along those lines. It's very hard to follow in that regard, definitely between each country, but hopefully we do get to see New Zealand and Fiji back for Singapore, and that will be a very good competition. If you got New Zealand, you got Fiji, you got Samoa, Kenya, Australia, South Africa. Who else? I want to list everyone, but I feel like I'll start to forget some names. All of the European sides in France, Australia. That's not a European side. England. So I meant to say Scotland, Wales. It's going to be a good one. Ireland as well. That is going to be the end of the match, and it is going to be a 42-0 victory for the Australians. A great start to the Sevens circuit for themselves in Seville, and they'll be hoping to move on and get themselves another one. And a very one-sided game for Australia as well. And so much sport on at the moment. Exactly right. There is so much, including cricket, rugby, everything along those lines. But our next live stream we will be doing will be the matchup between Wales and France, and that will be kicking off in about 6 minutes' time or so, I believe. They might even be a little bit ahead of time because of this one, but it is going to be Pool C action that will be getting underway. I'm just going to have to make sure that it is actually going to be taking place in a little bit of time rather than pretty much now. I think it is. I believe the women's, it did actually start a little bit earlier, the women's seven side of it, but yeah, it's a good performance from the Australians. Get themselves a very good lead and a good early matchup as well. It says that it's going to be Samoa versus Spain. I don't think that's quite the case, but France versus Wales, it is actually going to be in 2 minutes' time, so I better transfer over. But thank you all very much for tuning in. We will be back in a very short moment, and I will see you all for the next